was thinking back about your career. Is this like the third sort of intelligence role that you've had, MI5 and sort of Strike Back a bit as
Very
well?
good, it is, yes. I mean, it spans the period, I think, of around 10 years. I worked on 3 seasons of Spooks, a full season of Strike Back, and now Berlin Station. So yeah, it's been interesting to see how the genre has changed in that 10 years.
Yeah, I'm curious if, having done Spooks, MI5 over here, did you learn that there are great differences between British intelligence officers and American ones?
I thought that might be the case, but it didn't turn out. The institution is very different, I think. I think the British institution is divided into more tiny compartments, whereas the American institutions are bigger and there are fewer of them. But in terms of the way that intelligence is gathered, it's pretty much a standard situation. And I think that's because at the end of the Second World War, the British security services were kind of the benchmark for every other country to find what they were going to do to gather intelligence. So we were the root of it. But what fascinated me, having been working on it 10 years ago and coming back to it now, I thought we were going to be into all the high-tech gadgetry and all of that kind of work. But in the past, I'd say 3 to 5 years, technology has become probably the most unreliable place to gather intelligence on a daily basis. You know, do not go online if you want to know the truth. Do not go on any news channel if you want to know the truth. So yeah, paper and pen, and I think human interaction is the thing that features heavily in Berlin Station. You know, the idea of getting into the mind and heart of your opponent or your friend.
One of the things I think is interesting about him is he is an undercover person going undercover with people who go undercover.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of covers, isn't there, to get under.
Does that make it more dangerous for him then, because he's having to keep up this appearance among people who are meant to notice that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think the danger lies in the fact that these people, and Daniel especially, they start to lose track of themselves because they take on the persona of so many people. I mean, it was interesting when we were creating the character that the name of Daniel originally was Daniel Mayer, and they changed it twice more before they landed on Daniel Miller, which I thought was brilliant, and I hung on to those other names because I figured he's somebody that really needs to lose himself in order to step into this other arena and play a version of who he is. And you know, that idea of spies being very good actors, not just sort of understanding the psychology of the opponent and the, you know, empathically kind of leaning into them, but they do it with their friends and colleagues as well, which gets them into really hot water because, you know, as you're sitting in front of somebody who's your best friend, seemingly, you know that they're analyzing you, they're watching your body language, and they're figuring out how they can win.